Welcome to the one and only Redux Double Feature. I'm going to be breaking down chapters 4 and 5 this week. If you're confused about which one I'm currently talking about, there will be a little number in the corner doing its best. Both of these chapters end on a hug. I didn't have a place for that in the video, I just thought it was cute. Rather a straightforward paper edit for Redux Chapter 4, starting with the original Chapter 4, jumping ahead to 6, then back to 4. We decided to move Crow scouring Mistral to this one because both his and Yang's scenes revolve around the central idea of searching for something. Crow's looking for Huntsman, and Yang is looking for her mom. One of them succeeds at their goal, the other doesn't, and that creates a bit of contrast. In the original, the scene Crow pitches his plan to recruit Huntsman and the moment he actually starts looking for them are 3 chapters apart, so bringing them closer together helps keep what he's doing clear. Other than that, the first 2 scenes are virtually unchanged outside of some minor timing adjustments. But Yang's confrontation with Raven is another story, and I'll get back to that. Chapter 5 is far more material dense. We've got the Blake character short, Chapter 8, Chapter 4, Chapter 5, and Chapter 6 to top it off. Thematically, this one is all about drive, like the movie. Back in Volume 2, while they're in Mountain Glen, Oobleck pops in to interrogate Team Ruby about why they want to become huntresses. In Redux Chapter 5, we have a similar dynamic going on, albeit much more subtle. All 3 of the stories we present revolve around the question of what motivates the characters to fight, and they all present different reasons. For Ilya, it's a personal vendetta, for Ruby, it's wanting to help others, and for Raven, it's just plain survival. Back to the subject of chronology, the Blake character short was originally positioned to take place before the events of Volume 5, but we shifted it forward a bit. The flashback is still a flashback, of course, but the scenes with Blake and Sun are set in the present day now. Having them pursue a lead they obtained off of Ilya's scroll rather than trying to get more signatures helps maintain the feeling that they're being proactive. Additionally, having these scenes right next to each other communicates that this is the moment Ilya commits to leaving the note. She peers down from the rooftop, conflicted for a little bit, but soon finds her resolve as she puts her white fang mask back on. Could this be a foreshadowing? I don't know, you tell me. Oscar gets a lot of focus this time around, and his scenes are home to one of my favorite transitions. I've already mentioned J-cuts in my Chapter 1 breakdown, but for this one we use an L-cut, where the audio of the previous scene persists over the shot change. In this instance, we linger on Nora's remark about everyone having their own superpower with some reverb as if it's ringing in Oscar's head, implying his lack of a semblance is bothering him. Transitioning day to night also helps to hammer home just how much he's pushing himself. He's trying so hard, just give him a break. Yang now pumps her shotgun gauntlets between each round. This transformation animation is no longer dead silent. The audio of this door closing has been synced up with the animation. The missing lighting on Raven's mask has been fixed in a few shots. This punch now has a mechanical wind-up noise. A minor flickering issue on Ruby's eyes has been fixed. Yang is now 50% more anime, and now her eyes gradually fade back to purple as she calms down. Vernal rolls a natural 20 on her stealth check. The light level diminishes between these 2 scenes to communicate passage of time. Weiss stays quiet when Yang asks if she believes Raven to cast some doubt. And we smash cut from Crow to Ruby to emphasize how emotionally underprepared she was for the reunion. Undoubtedly, the biggest change we made to these chapters was in our depiction of Raven. Some of the lines that were cut in Chapter 4 were just information that gets repeated in the tent, but the rest of the changes were an attempt to shift the power dynamic a bit and make her somewhat more accommodating. In the original, Raven opens her conversation with Yang by setting her teeth on edge and leads with something of a snarky attitude. In Redux, the roles are reversed. Raven takes notice of Yang's arm quivering and offers her a place to stay for the night. Self-satisfied with having done the bare minimum, Yang sees through this empty gesture and declines, which sets Raven's teeth on edge. The pace of this confrontation overall has been quickened substantially, and the end result is something that I personally feel reintroduces a bit of Yang's signature sass. That's not to say Yang is entirely devoid of anger, nor is Raven turned into a nice person. Yang's able to mask her rage for the most part, but once Raven crosses into insulting her family, Yang loses her composure, and the weight of all those years of searching for Raven finally surfaces. One of the biggest criticisms I've seen repeated about Raven's character is the amount of time she spends beating around the bush, and that issue is effectively gone now. Once they get into the tent, Raven immediately shares information unprompted, shows off her ability to transform, and presents Yang with the option to stay with her if she wants to learn more. She's still every bit the blunt and emotionally cold excuse of a parent that she was in the original, but the fact that she's so direct and to the point with her answers gives Yang's choice at the end a tiny bit more gravity. like the movie. Now, was this the intended expression of Raven's character? No, probably not. But just like our treatment of Ilya, our goal was to add an additional layer of nuance on top of the existing story beats and make the characters somewhat more likable without stripping them of their flaws. I can't imagine everyone will vibe with these changes, but hey, I've kept this card around for a reason. We cut out Weiss during the lead-in to this scene to try and maintain a sliver of mystery as to where she is. But without that context, this little guy is just kinda hanging out. Because the petition scene was removed, when Sun asks,
"Hey, Blake, you ready to go?"
it's not exactly clear where they're going. My personal headcanon is that they're pursuing another White Fang lead, or they're just going out for tacos. I don't know. That's 50% of Redux done. I thought the stage fright of releasing these things was gonna ease up after the first few chapters, but no, 5 weeks in and it's still utterly terrifying. If anything, it's gonna get even worse as we move into the second half, because that's where we do some of our most ambitious work. I'm both excited and nervous to see how people react to them, but it won't be much of a wait because chapter 6 is right around the corner. Above all else, these next 5 weeks are gonna be a journey, and you best bet I'm gonna stick to one breakdown at a time from now on. This video was difficult to write. If you have any questions for us, please leave a comment. We may not reply, but we do read all of them. That's all from me. Catch you later.